LL yet.
Okay.
So people, it was a lot of people. It was hundreds of people in there in this little spot. And somebody, he either was on his way, not knowing that I was going to be there, or somebody went to get him. Either one or the other. He showed up later on that evening. Mm-hmm. This is late. This is like 1 a.m. So he comes in. I put my hand out. Yo, Todd, what's up? I put my hand out. And now remind you, I'm 110 pounds. I'm bony. I'm like a walking stop sign. I'm skinny. You can blow at me, and
that's so messed
up. I was a skinny dude, but I had man. You would think I was. You would thought I was the Hulk because I talked a lot of crap. I ran my mouth a lot. I have to admit, I ran my mouth a lot.
You were confident. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I ran my mouth, and I didn't care about. I knew either way I had to fight, so I didn't mind fighting. It's just. I kind of like just was like, I don't care. I know,
right.
Because at that time, I was by myself. I didn't have, my brother, he's 15, 16 years older than me.
Right.
So I didn't grow up with nobody. It was just me. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of times when you're growing up in the urban, when you grow up in the hood, it's not about fighting. It's about heart.
Absolutely.
People want to see if you have any heart. And I had a lot of heart. I just didn't know how to fight, but I had a lot of heart. And I was, you were
alive, right?
Yeah. I had a lot of heart. I didn't care. I'd fight anybody. Just my point was, look, I know we're going to go outside. We might as well just get this over with.
Right.
So I started having a lot of fights. I must have had at least 40, 50 fights growing up.
Whoa.
That's easy going. I mean, I fought people twice. What? It was so bad.
How many you win? How'd you win? Did you win?
I don't know. I mean, I won some. Now I didn't win all of them, but I won a lot of them.
That's right.
But I took a loss too. I took a lot of losses too because like I said, I was skinny, and then most people that I fought was bigger than me, right. Taller than me, bigger than me. Aww. So it was like, come on, dude, are you serious? You 50 pounds bigger and taller than me. Come on, B. For real? But I went for mine. And that's what most people want to see. They want to see, okay, he got heart. Right. Yeah, he lost, but all right.
He got heart.
He got heart. Mm-hmm. I ain't going to let nobody punk me. I'm not crossing the street for you. You're not going to ban me from the bully. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those situations. But I caused a lot of those situations that happened as far as fighting and being and going back and forth with dudes. Mm-hmm. And so now, LL goes, he pushes me after I extended my hand out, and I try to knock his Kango off his hat, off his head. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to knock his Kango off. He must have had crazy glue on it because it didn't come off.
That's some shit.
Yeah, it didn't come off. So I said, all right. So then we mouthed off at each other. Then we saw each other a couple months later. Mm-hmm. It was going towards spring. And he was across the street on one side of Farmers, and I was by myself on the other side of Farmers Boulevard. And he called, yo, Geechie, come here, man. Nah, man, you got all these dudes with you. You got 50 dudes with you. I ain't coming over there. I ain't stupid. Wow. He said, nah, come here. We good. Mm-hmm. So we came over, we shook hands, we chopped up, we laughed, we drank some OE, we was drinking OE English and beer, and and then we had an official battle in the game room over by I think that was on Jordan or Ilion.
Okay.
There was a game room, we all hung out in the game room. Mm-hmm. So I went first and I said the rhyme that I just said, and then I said some more rhymes, and then he went and he chewed me up, he got at me, and he won. And that was the end of that. And we've been friends ever since. So big shout out to LL.
Rock
the bells, baby.
Out. Yep.
Yeah. So
let me ask you, what are your views on today's hip hop style? Like, is there a difference in the message versus the hip hop back in the 80s?
What we have today is this generation's music. You can call it what you want. It ain't. It's that generation's hip hop to them. Mm-hmm. To us, older generation, we look at it as, this is something that that these young, kids and this generation, that this is their thing. This is, so we had our time. We had our time, but today's music is basically fueled by, it's not lyrical. There's no lyrical value in today's music. Let's just get that out. Let's get that out the way right now. There's no lyrical value in what these cats are saying. Because you got to understand, when Chuck D from Public Enemy came out, LL came out, Big Daddy, they was teenagers. Mm-hmm. You can say, oh wow, there's lyrical value in that. Yep. There was a showmanship. Mm-hmm. There was a pride. There was for the culture. Mm-hmm. Now it's just making money, talking about everything under the sun. They got nothing to do with nothing. Right. And there's no value in the lyrics, and there's no message, there's no diversity. Just but this is their generation of what we have today. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, for us older people, we look back and say our parents, when we was doing it, what we was doing in the 80s and mm-hmm. late 70s and 80s and the 90s, this is what we was doing. We was trying to we was putting out record message oriented type songs, and mm-hmm. We was doing iconic, and we was doing the culture mm-hmm. with hip hop. Hip hop was still growing, and so now, today hip hop has grown so much that it has lost its roots, so to speak. Because when you're talking about hip hop, you're talking about a way of life. Mm-hmm. You're talking about graffiti, breakdancing, knowledge. Knowledge is no longer here. Yep. Consciousness. So you're not. So right now, today, we have hip hop. We still have breakdancing and graffiti, but not too much here in America. We have it more overseas. Right. Japan and Australia and England and Spain, they love hip hop because they keep it more to the roots of the foundations of hip hop, the elements, yes, right? But here in the States, it's about money. Mm-hmm. It's about money, and I'm not knocking nobody that want to make money. Instead of selling drugs, right. They come up with these type of songs that they come up with, and they making money too. These young people are making money. I just wish that we had some more. We just had the knowledge, because that way this younger generation can make better songs, more content songs, mm-hmm. iconic songs, classic material, mm-hmm. like we used to do when we first was doing what we was doing. That's diversity, that's gone. Yes. The A&R in the middle, the media, that's gone. So a lot of what we have today is on internet. Marketing is everything is different. Right. Everything was different, just like basketball. Mm-hmm. Times have changed. The Oscar Robertson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That was at that time. They were actually a team. A team, right? They were a team. It wasn't about I individual get more endorsements and more. It was more so a team, right? The same thing. What I believe about hip hop, the relevancy, right? It's like, okay, you have your craft. No one is taking that from you, but I feel that this generation should pay more of a homage to those who were before them, right? Because listen, when you talk about the influence of hip hop, you're talking about jazz, you're talking about soul, you're talking about rock and roll, blues, reggae. You're talking about James Brown, Muhammad Ali, that's what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Richard Pryor, he's in there, and Gil Scott-Heron, right? Yes. And I got to say this real quick. This brother by the name of Roy C. Hammond. That recently passed away. Okay. About 2 weeks ago. Big rest in peace to him. His single changed modern day hip hop, which is called "Impeach the President." I need to listen to that. And that song was a anti-political song. Mm-hmm. towards Richard Nixon at that time to impeach him, to get him out of office. And that song still resonates today in 2020 because now we have President Trump in office and we want him out of office.
Oh, that's crazy.
So, the music correlates with the times.
Yes, it does.
And just like with basketball, it was pure, it was authentic. It became a business. When hip hop became a business, everything just got
put
out of whack and pushed to the side.
It sure
and
did.
all for the glory of themselves and for the money. Because now it's a business. It's not a culture. It's not something that can impact the world like Tupac.
Right.
We don't have a Tupac. We have a bunch of people receiving accolades and awards and money and record deal and endorsements and TV shows and reality shows, but it's money.
That's it. That's all it's about. How do you feel about how, okay, I'm a woman and there are women rappers out there, but how do you feel about the style of the rap now? The style versus... Listen, I go back to Queen Latifah. I go back to
MC Lyte,
Moni Love. I go to Salt and Pepper.
Right.
I mean, that's what I'm. That's my thing. What I like. To each his own. But how do you feel about the style now of how these women are? And you know where I'm going with it.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
I gotta go. With this WAP thing. Is it WAP or WAP? Whatever it is, but.
You had to ask me.
I'm trying to.
Let me tell you something.
Oh man,
I do a Geechie Dan hip hop tape show. I play tapes of all our hip hop icons, and I rhyme off the break beats and shout outs and all that. Right. So this young lady from Jersey, her mother reached out to me because my show was very popular. She said, "Can you play my daughter's music?" I said, "Okay." So I'm thinking it's already clean. This was on the FM station that I was on, right? And it started out, F this, B that, P this, suck this, lick that.
Wow.
Bit, I was like, huh? Yo, I can't play this. I said,
That's crazy, right?
So when she came on the phone to be interviewed, I said, yo, you got a nice voice. How old are you again? She's like, I'm 21. I said, yo, you don't got no clean versions? She's like, no.
That's
I said, yo, I can't interview you today. You got these songs you sent me. You got to go back and edit them. Call me back next week. I'll call your mother and tell her why I didn't interview you today. And I'll hear from you next week.
Wow.
Can't play this.
That's crazy.
I was like, oh my God.
I don't like to disrespect, and like I said, shout out to Cardi B and all of those that are out there making their paper and doing what they got to do. But, when you have children, it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Yeah, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Exactly. And
yes.
It's I know that it's about, it's about money.
Yeah, it's about money.
It's about the showing whatever. But I just feel like it's just like, what happened?
But I have to. This generation is making an impact because even though we may not just the prior generations before this generation, we may not agree, but at the same time, they make it hip. They took what we was doing and made it bigger, powerful. It may not be the way that we have wanted it to be, but the reality is it's still hip hop. Right. I mean, it's still trap or pop or whatever it's called. Hip hop is now. It still took over all genres of music. It's number one making genre in the business. It's billions of dollars is in what we did, what we started. I wish that this generation would connect with my generation. And that's the reason why I created the Geechie Dan Hip Hop Tape Show. So I could play the tapes of the hip hop legends and the icons that started hip hop. And this generation can meet a Kumo D, a Melly Mel, and Kumo D and the Melly Mel and Busy Bee can meet this generation.
Right.
So we can